Hello, everyone. My name is Demetrius Harmon. I'm a financial coach on Harmon Financial Coaching. I help my clients with budgeting, saving money, paying off debt, building wealth, and just increasing their financial literacy as a whole. Look at me like a personal trainer for your money. And this is my lovely wife, Davida. Say hello.
Hi, everybody. My name is Davita.
All right, so you've seen the thumbnail. I want to talk about how you can help your wife be a stay at home wife, okay? I understand that's not for everybody, but if you are interested in staying at home, you want to get your husband on board, or maybe both of you guys on board, you just don't know how to do it, this is the video for you. So, like I said, I'm like a personal trainer for your money. So, how are you going to get your money in shape so that way you can make that transition? Obviously, if she wants to stay at home, she's obviously working, right? So we got to figure out how we're going to make that transition. And it's a tough one, but it can be done. I'm going to give you two practical tips, and that's going to help you. But first, I want to tell you about a little bit about my wife and I's story. So in 2018, my wife and I, we paid off $32,000 of debt in 5 months. We weren't playing around. Now I will tell you, we did scorch earth. We sounded the alarm. The house was on fire. It was a treat to go to Starbucks.
Yes.
Seriously. So I understand that's not for everybody, but I'm just telling you how we did it. So when we got out of debt, we didn't stop there. We got out of debt. We paid off $32,000 in 5 months in 2018. We saved up an emergency fund, and we were just intentional about our money, and we haven't looked back. And in 2019, my wife at that time, she was going to law school. By the way, my wife graduated law school debt free.
Yes. Praise Jesus.
Yep, thank you, Jesus. Once again, she graduated law school debt free. So that means you need to listen to me. I kind of know what I'm doing here, right? That makes her pretty much a unicorn. But like we said, it's all glory goes to God. To get out of law school debt free, that means we had to be intentional. We had to sacrifice. We had to do things, and things that most people aren't willing to do. You got to have discipline in order to build wealth. So in 2019, I remember like it was yesterday. My wife was going to school. Her job was giving her problems. It was starting to affect her health. As the head of the household, it is my job to protect, provide, do all those things. So my wife was telling me, "What do I do? I'm getting stressed out. It's too much school. I'm working too much." And I was driving home from work, and I just simply told her, "Quit your job." And I'll let her tell you a little bit about that. And it was just that simple: quit your job. And she was like, "What? What? Wait, what? Huh? Quit." I was like, "Quit your job." So she's gonna tell you a little bit how she felt. And
Yes. When he told me to quit my job, I at first didn't think we can do it. And so what I did, I went to our budget and I put in all the numbers. And at that time, we had our son in a private Christian school. And so I just put in just his salary. And I put in all of our expenses and everything turned out perfectly. It would work, and so I said, okay, well, I guess I can quit my job, and I put in my I put in my 2 weeks notice, and that was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
yep. So let me tell you, as the man of the house, when I walked in, I was probably 15 minutes away from the house when I told her to quit her job. So when I got home, she had already sent her email giving them her 2 weeks notice, and of course she
Yes,
sent
I
an
didn't waste any
yeah,
time.
and of course she sent an official written notice as well. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought my wife was pregnant. She was glowing. She was glowing. I thought I was gonna have like our third child or something. She was so happy. It was like an elephant was standing on her chest and it had jumped off of her chest. And she was a different woman because if you've been in that place where you're just living for the weekend, you're not living at all. You're just surviving. And so many people don't like their job. So many people are not engaged. So many people are doing things they don't want to do because they're a slave to debt. And the debt starts making decisions for them. And before you know it, debt is driving. Debt is driving the vehicle. And you don't even know why you're doing it. Why are you taking a job that you know you don't like because it pays more? You know it's going to be a headache. You know you're not going to be fulfilled. You know why? Because American Express, MasterCard, student loans, personal loans, they're ruling your life. So my wife said a key word. She said she looked at the budget. That means we already had one. So just to be clear, when I say I help my clients with budgeting, I do my clients budget for them. So we believe here at Harmony Financial Coaching, zero-based budgeting. Everything has an assignment. So if you look at any organization, professional, someone who can come over and declutter your house, any professional will tell you the key to getting things organized is everything has a place. So why is it that when a professional organizer comes to your house, what if she said, I have 3 places to put your shoes. You can put them near the door, underneath the bed, and near the back door, near the deck. That would be weird, right? Of course. You're like, hey, it needs to be in one place. Your money needs to do the same thing. Your money needs to have an assignment. Every penny has to have an assignment. No random stuff. No, our miscellaneous fund was like $30. Like seriously, it was so small. It wasn't. Some people have a miscellaneous fund of $300. I can tell you why you're not out of debt. I can tell you why you're not saving enough for your retirement. So zero-based budgeting. Everything has to have an assignment. When we cracked open the books, we had to see where we were at, but we already knew because we were budgeting our money. So what happened was we just had to go over it again to make sure the numbers made sense without her money, without her salary, and then the rest was history. So I want to give you 2 practical steps on how to get your queen to that place where she can stay home, where she doesn't have to worry about a bad supervisor, when she can be there and support her family. I know there's this thing out there now where a lot of women feel oppressed, which is a complete joke. My wife loves being there for the family. She loves cooking for the family. I'm going to have her tell you a little bit about her experience, how it's been staying at home. It's been, what, almost 2 years now?
Yes, it's been 2 years, and I just love it because our youngest, our son, I get to homeschool him, so I have complete control over everything that he learns, and I really get to mold him and pour into him, and it's just such a blessing. Our oldest, our daughter, she goes to a private Christian school, which she loves, and I get to just be there for my family, to make them breakfast in the morning, to make lunch, to make dinners, just to be there. And I really enjoy cooking, and baking, so I just really love it. And also I had a chance to, this past summer, study for the bar without any distractions. I didn't have to go to work. So I was able to study for the bar and take it, and I get my results this Friday, so God willing, I passed. And without staying home and without being out of debt, I would not have been able to do that. Now, there are some people that work full-time and they study for the bar. And God bless those people, because that's very, very hard. So just staying home has been just a true blessing for me. And also I suffer from lupus, which is it's an autoimmune disease. And so I haven't had that much stress or anything. I've just been very happy and just thankful that we can do this and stay at home, because I didn't think it was possible. And just being on a budget, being out of debt, that really,
freed up a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you hear my wife, you hear her talking about being at home, she lights up. So we had to figure out, here's the thing, we all have money, it's all about how you spend your money. So it's 2 parts to money. It's making the money and then keeping the money. I'm going to say this again, making the money and then keeping the money. So you have to figure out how you're going to make it. That's step 1. And then you figure out how are you going to keep it. Well, I love what John Maxwell said. A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Raise your hand if you've been there where you said, where did that $300 go? Where did that $1,200 go? Where did my tax return go? Where did that $600 go? The bonus is gone already. It's because you didn't have a plan. You didn't know where your money was going because you weren't budgeting your money. So for your 2 quick tips, number 1, you got to find out your numbers. So I know you don't want to crack open the books. You don't want to know how much debt you have. Let me tell you, you need to know. If it's $32,000 like we did, we had to swallow that pill and take it on the chin and say, okay, this is where we're at. I believe in reality. Put your reality glasses on and find out where you're at. So number one, step one, know your numbers. Find out how much debt you have. Step number two, now you need to get on a budget. The best time to do your budget is the begin at the end of each month for the upcoming month. For example, at the time of filming this, this is the end of October. This is the perfect time to do your November budget. Okay, so what has to happen is this: when you start budgeting your money, it becomes routine. It becomes routine, and now you're not there yet. I get it. I'm talking to people who typically don't budget. 55% of the American population doesn't budget their money. So when you start budgeting your money, it becomes routine. It's just like if someone woke you up and in a hurry and they say you gotta hurry up and go downstairs and go to work. They didn't give you a chance to wash your face, brush your teeth, or anything. You would feel, number one, hopefully you feel nasty, right? You would feel incomplete because you didn't do your routine. You have to make budgeting a routine occurrence. So you have to do it. And the key is, fellas, I'm going to tell you, you're not going to like this. You have to do this with your wife. All right? It's a team. It's we. We're a union. So God has designed us to, when we get married, we become one flesh. Okay? So too many people are, oh, well, you go ahead and do the numbers and I'll just stick to it. No, that's not going to work. You have to know your number. If you can get out of debt with your wife, you can overcome anything. Anything. If you're having trouble in your marriage, start budgeting. Start doing some numbers. Start finding out where you're spending, and teamwork. Start communicating. I promise you, you will be able to 10x your marriage because you guys are working together. I can honestly say there's nothing that we can't overcome. We've been through a lot.
Yes.
And number one, all glory goes to God. Number two, that's just us saying, you know what, we're in this together. So just to recap, get to know your numbers. All right, find out how much debt you're in. You should know how much you're making per month. If not, find that out. Obviously, you should know how much you're making per year. If not, you definitely need to find that out. Look at those numbers. Be a nerd. Find out where those numbers are. Real quick. We all know Tim Cook is the CEO of Apple, right? Everybody knows Tim Cook, so he is the CEO. But there's a guy by the name of Luca Maestro. Only financial nerds like myself will know this. He's the CFO of Apple. What if Tim Cook came out and said, next year, 2022, we're not going to have a CFO. We're just going to kind of wing it. We're just going to figure it out as we go. You guys would say, what? That would sound crazy, right? So why is it that Apple has an enormous amount of money, but yet they track every single penny? So what does that tell us we should be doing? We should be tracking our money, all right? So crack open the books, find out your numbers. Step two, get on a written budget. If you need any help with that, I can do that. Let me do the heavy lifting. Budgeting can be stressful. I don't mind. I enjoy it. It's part of my job. I'm going to coach you up. And last but certainly not least, if you want your wife to stay at home, you have to support her. Sweetheart, can you tell me a little bit about how important it is for your hubby to give you support and let you know that you're not out here by yourself?
Oh, that just means everything. I would not have been able to make it through law school without his support. And there's so many people that have failed at things that they were trying to accomplish because they didn't have someone in their lives that can support them. So support is everything, and I always get support from my husband, and he's just such a blessing. I always say that he's the best. He's the best.
I always tell her that she's the best. So we're going to wrap this up. Please take notes on this video. Again, crack open the numbers, get to know your numbers, monthly expenses, how much debt. You got to make debt your priority. It can't be an afterthought. It can't be this nebulous number. We're going to kind of pay this as we get. No. You need to be intentional. So get to know your numbers and then get on a written budget. Zero-based budgeting. All right, it works. It's the straw that stirs the drink. Believe me, you won't get out of debt without the budget. That is our time. Take care. God bless. Change your mindset. Grow your money.